All right, good morning. It's brand new year, January 2nd, Wednesday. We're looking at the March ES contract. And I I don't know, I've kind of had a little bit trouble knowing where to begin this morning. So I'm just going to pop in here and talk it through. I actually want to get started a little earlier, have this up before the market started, as probably it ought to be anyway, but nevertheless, doesn't matter. Um, so here's where we are. Looking at the daily. Um, we have retraced here, and I'm just gonna. I guess what I was trying to say. I'm going to sort of. I don't have a lot of stuff done ahead of time, really. I'm just kind of coming in fresh, and we're going to look at it together. Look at a fib here. We retraced to 38.2%. Okay, now nothing here is something that's like, oh, I got to know this. This is just a way of dialing in. Where are we? Um, we retraced at 38.2%. This is the regular trading hours. As you can see in the overnight, we have come way back down to, let's see what price is that. Low down around, well, it's going to be easier to look at the profile. Lows at 52 quarter. Okay. So we have really sold off in the overnight. We're going to gap down. So that's probably coming in the morning. That is our main takeaway right now. We've got a gap down in a general, maybe in a bigger picture retracement, but for all our intents and purposes, we're in a downtrend. We're right now in the midst of a retracement, and will it continue higher in the ES back up here? I don't know. Probably not before some kind of patterns form down here. So right now we're down. We've got a low at 52 quarter, trading at 68 right now, and the close on Monday depends on how you want to look at it. Now I'm going to probably merge Monday's profile and let me think for a second. That was no Monday's going to be a valid profile here. I'm going to use it. So we've got a low. I don't know why the low is not showing here. My high and low indicator is not showing, and I don't know why, but that's all right. So the low is 82 quarter, and we're right now at 67.75. So that means we got more than a 10-point gap. Sure, it could open up and all kinds of short covering come in. Let's look at the low in the overnight for now. Okay, we've got sort of a good low. Kind of a good low here. We've kind of, there was covering and got a double distribution. It's sort of consolidating now. The overnight VPOC is at 67.50, so we've got a whole distribution down here. One thing I wanted to point out earlier, I haven't drawn new balance areas and stuff. This is from a long time ago. I don't even know when this was drawn, but it goes back a ways because we haven't been down here in a while. At least when I drew this, it's been a while. As you can see, this might have been a place to short against. You can see it look back above these and then came back down again. So these are, and you can see this high right here stopped. So I always find it very fascinating and rewarding somehow to pull out these areas that are respected. There's still business in the market, that decisions are made at those levels. And I can show you how to do that. If you don't know, like I said, I hope to maybe do a room this year. That'll be a lot of fun. Okay, so where are we? We've got 8 minutes, and I would like to get this out. And right now, I don't know how much useful information I've given you so far. So this distribution, we're going to make it a balance area. This is important right now. Again, we're gapping down. What I would look for this morning would be well, there's something else I want to show you. Let me go to the 30-minute over here. Just drew this. So around the S3 pivot point, the bottom is at 59.50. Well, it's not around there. I mean, we sort of have a balanced above it, okay? And this looks like a head and shoulders pattern to me, based on that third pivot point. Now, being at the third pivot point, that's kind of a ways away. And, it might be a significant, we might not take out the overnight low. The S3 Depends on how bearish it is. And we do know that the market is, we're coming in bearish for the gap down. The Asian markets have been down. All the news is saying things are down, but if it holds, look for getting long, because it's going to be a lot. There's a lot of room for short covering here, and that can be a lot of fun. So one thing to look for is, depending on when it happens, each one of these bars is 30 minutes. If it breaks above this, I wouldn't necessarily take it as a breakout, just have a stop and just get carried in. I mean, you kind of want to look for a retracement back down to it and then find an entry there. And again, these are 30-minute bars, so try to keep an eye on that. I don't know if I'll be flipping back to this chart or not, but anyway, you can kind of see it. I don't know why my zigzag tool is not up in the toolbar, but if I go up here and I grab a zigzag tool, where is it? Right here. So you can kind of see it here. I think I will go ahead and put it on here. That'll help me. Now I got to go through and make every one of these lines like smaller, So I'm going to hide this drawing for now because it's in my way. I'll see, that's what I don't like. It doesn't hide the whole drawing. It just hides the one thing. So actually, I'm going to come back. I'll do this for myself later. I'll draw it for myself in a little bit. There's time to do that. It's not up there yet. And really, all I need to see it, I mean, I can see it in my mind. All I need is this. I just need this. Where's that high and where's that? I just need the neckline. I just need to know where that is. So I'll leave that. Whoops. Okay, snap to highs and lows didn't work so good on the profile chart. All right, aren't we having fun already this morning, this year? So there's a neckline right here is what I'm trying to say. So watch for that, okay? Let's make it bigger. Okay. This video is not the best here, but so let's look at some balance areas here. This is still good. I'm going to adjust this a little bit there. And we got sort of a combined. Let's see how it works out. I mean, we've got I'm going to go from here to here on this. I think I like that. Okay. Again, we're opening in here, so that's gray. I'm going to make this potential, getting kind of frustrated. Color this blue. Potential buy zone. Same down here. I'm going to make it from here to here. What is going on here? Keep clicking on this and it isn't grabbing. Okay, so these are potential buy areas. Again, I don't know if we're going to go raging to the downside or not, but we might. All right, so those are some buy zones. I started adding the little prices in here. It can get cluttery, but we're going to go with that for right now. I'm going to tighten this up. Didn't work. We'll go back over and look at the chart, see how it looks in a minute. See if it makes sense, like on the, see, that's a potential sell area. Of course, maybe up in here too, like in this divot. I'm going to this potential sell area. This isn't exactly how I always draw these on the bigger chart here. I usually draw these right on the profile chart, but that's how I'm doing it this morning. So let's talk about a couple plays here to get the day going. Yep, I'm not going to I'll make the open, I think, but I'm not going to make the, okay. So, one thing I wanted to point out that was kind of fun is that, where is it? I'm going to take this off now. Don't need that. Okay, 53 quarter was like the overnight low is a 52 quarter. This was a 38.2 retracement from here to here. So that's fun. Okay. So, the overnight low, that area may be a good buy zone. Let's see if yeah, okay. So it fell right in there. Okay. So if they do get down in here, you could look for, that's what 38 quarter is. You could look for buy right at the low. It may not take out the low, but always be prepared for, bam, they may take out the stops between 1 to 8 ticks, you know, clear it out and then go up. So we'll see. All right, we're getting ready to open here in 2 minutes. Right now, I would play it as a long off of, like if we open like right now, I would look for a long between the overnight VPOC at 67.5 and also the top of this little distribution at 68. So a long right in here, but again, we might trade down here yet before we open, or a long 65 quarter, possibly even if it comes in here, a short against the 68. So there's a lot of room for, you know, finding a direction here. So you might want to look at a different, you know, other things to kind of help you decide. I have a feeling the first thing is they're going to push down possibly. So short even from right here on the open. I don't know that I would want to open and hit the button. That's not my style. That's pretty risky. But a bigger thing to consider is that if we open and we have a fairly reasonable opening range in a couple minutes, since we've got more than a 10-point gap, I think it is, from the low, you could take a things look pretty bearish to you. If it comes back through that opening range after it's been formed and takes out the low of that opening range, you want to get with it. I wouldn't trade right into the bottom of this gray area at 65 quarter. I'd want to see it below it, but you know, you could try that. Also, you know, you could try it the other way, because many times they try to close the gap right away. So if it, you know, let it shake out a little bit, gets above this distribution, especially, you might want to look for a little bit of retracement. If it breaks, let's say the opening range is as long as this X period here, and then it gets above this distribution, you might want to look to get long against the high of that opening range after it breaks out of it a little bit and comes back down. Okay, here we go. Well, we're trading together. Let's see. So like I said, you could short that X as it's doing, or possibly get long against the over. Now it's really jumpy and whippy. I wouldn't want to be in this right now against this overnight VPOC, but it is back in a balance area. I feel like I'm doing I'm calling a horse race or something. It's back in a balance area. All right, looks like the buyers is catching a bid here. Are they going to be able to break up the high? I don't know. So if they come back down, which they probably will, it may have trouble down here at this low at 65 quarter and then come back up. But let's see if they can hold it up here. If not, it's going to flush back down, test the X low here, which I think it probably will. It's not breaking that overnight POC. Oh, it just did. It took the X high. Here we go on up to the V high. And again, that's not necessarily where I'd want to short it. We got to take the stops here. Okay, they just got them. Now they're back down. They just got the stops. I got these letters kind of small, don't I? Something got screwed up on my, there we go. Wow. See, it's really jumpy. You know, I don't know. If it pops way up, would I want to catch that as a short? That's, you know, this is maybe a market to let it shake out a little bit. Now this opening range is kind of big. We're not even 2 minutes in. That's, you know, it's probably going to expand even further. Okay, so here's a possible short. Again, I'm not taking it. I don't know that I like it. This is a more aggressive one, but would it have worked? Let's see. I only got 3 or 4 hours of sleep last night, so I need to be careful, and that's a very important consideration. You know, I wouldn't like to be in this right now. I'd feel like a lot of heat. I mean, it may not have come against me, but it's not going anywhere yet, and I don't like that. You kind of, yeah. Okay, so they washed out some possible stops here. You might not have been stopped out yet. I'm going to try to, I got to pull up my tick. I haven't looked at that yet. Well, you know, it was, there you go. It might be working here. How far much down? Can you get a couple points out of that? All right, well, here we are off and running. You know, those were the sort of trade calls here for the early part of the day, and we'll see what happens. Kind of fun to do this live. Yeah, so you'd want to move to break even as soon as you get the chance, but it's so whippy, you know, it's like, how much does it whip? It'll move 3 ticks like in a blink of an eye. So I don't know if you moved your break even in a tick, you might just get flushed out or excuse me, knocked out, and then boom, coming back down. Right now, the buyers are trying to push it, but the sellers are holding it. So yeah, that trade would have worked nicely for a point, 2 points, maybe more. And I have a feeling it's going to keep on coming down. Now, it may take till B period. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But okay, that VPOC is going to drop down here in a minute if they can do some more action up there. Trade would have worked beautifully. One for me, I didn't like that, because one thing to always look out for is a short covering rally. If you don't get in front of a short covering rally, that's a recipe for disaster, and that's something you got to be careful about. And when you know, because many times they'll try to close a gap. There are people who they just want to take profits. They're going to cover their shorts. So let's see where we are as far as the what do I call it? Head and shoulder pattern. Okay. We didn't break it. So we didn't break that high. Will we break it? I think so. And again, if we do, we want to look for, there's my zigzag tool. Didn't know where it was. Want to look for it to, come up and maybe trade back down, and then see if the buyers can hold it here and then get long in there, I wish I would have done this earlier, because there were some lines that I put on there a while back. Okay, I guess I can show you. They're over here. Thought that was pretty cool. So I put on this line 40-50. Get rid of this. 40-50, of course, stopped here the other day. That was a weekly low that I put in there in case we came down. That was one to watch. That was it took it out later days, but these lows here weeks back in May of June 17, all that kind of stuff. As we were coming down, we wanted to watch all these lows, and then those are just things to kind of look for, that there are people back in the market. If you remember some of the videos last week, I was talking about why it's important, because there are people who still have positions there. It's just interesting how the market comes down and somebody held it, bought again, doubled up, loaded up, went up again. I don't know. All right. Hope you enjoyed this. See what we're doing now. Okay. VPOC lowered. Wow. Look at that move. See, that's scary stuff. That stuff can really give you problems. That just big move like that. They couldn't get it back down below the open yet, looks like. Or did they? Yeah, they did. I think they did. So we're past, this is the opening range now. So a move below this opening range, this might be a short. The only problem is you're going to run into you might run into some problems here, unless it just all of a sudden super flushes. And right now I'm looking for it to slam back down. If it slams back down, this might be a place to get in there. But for me, I'm not liking it. This is just way too jumpy. Unless you really want a 3-point stop or something and you're quick, this is a recipe to get chopped up. So I'm glad I'm not in this myself right now, because it really hadn't gone anywhere. And I certainly, wouldn't want to be encouraging anyone to take these ideas right now who doesn't know what they're doing, because they're going to get in trouble. And even though I look like I might know what I'm doing, I'm not taking this right now. I don't want to be in this right now. I need to see what happens. Okay, long video. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. I'll be back with a hopefully update later.